You can't just ignore regulations, Admiral. This is insubordination.
I am aware of my rank, Commander. And my authority.
The hallway echoed with boots and tension. Commander Ryan Hale had never been this angry, not in war, not in interrogation, not in years of commanding men twice his size. But the young woman standing before him had pushed every button he had. He stepped forward, cornering her against the steel gray wall, his voice low and sharp. "You think this base runs on your rules?" He hissed. The woman didn't flinch. Her eyes, calm and unreadable, locked with his. Then, with a faint smirk that felt almost like pity, she whispered, "You really don't know who I am, do you? Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening." Ryan's anger faltered for a second, but pride held him steady. She was just a transfer, some civilian consultant or a liaison from Fleet Command, probably writing her connections. He'd seen that type before. Always walking in like they owned the place. Still, there was something different about her. The way soldiers in the hall froze when she passed. The subtle salute from the guard at the far end. He thought he'd imagined it, but maybe not. Her name, as listed on the transfer orders, was Lydia Voss. Just a name. No rank, no insignia. Yet she carried an air that made seasoned officers stand a little straighter. Ryan tried to shake it off. "You're not authorized to be in this section," he said, stepping back half an inch but keeping his voice firm. "If you don't leave, I'll—" She cut him off, her tone cool and almost sorrowful. "You'll what, Commander? File a report? Order me detained?" She reached into her jacket pocket, slow, deliberate, and pulled out a black ID case trimmed in gold. The air shifted, the seal of the United Earth, Fleet gleamed under the overhead light. Below it, her name. And her title. Fleet Admiral Lydia Voss. Ryan froze. The hallway suddenly felt colder. Every word he'd said, every threat, every ounce of arrogance crashed down on him like a wave. He stepped back, his mouth parting, but no words came out. Around them, two junior officers who had witnessed the scene stood motionless, eyes wide, trying not to breathe too loudly. Lydia's gaze softened, not with triumph, but with quiet disappointment. "I didn't come here to embarrass you, Commander," she said softly. "I came here because this base, your base, is being audited for internal misconduct. And I was hoping its officers still understood respect." Ryan's throat tightened. He remembered the rumors that a high-ranking Fleet Admiral was visiting incognito to inspect morale and discipline. He hadn't believed them. Until now, for a long, painful moment, silence filled the hall. Then Lydia turned to leave, her boots clicking softly against the polished floor, but Ryan couldn't let it end there. "Admiral," he called out, his voice trembling slightly. She stopped but didn't turn. "I was out of line. Let my frustration speak for me. I'm sorry." Her back straightened. Then, slowly, she faced him again. "The measure of a leader," she said, "isn't how he acts when he's obeyed. It's how he acts when he's wrong." He nodded, ashamed but grateful. Around them, whispers spread. Some looked at him with pity, others with newfound respect, not because he'd been humiliated, but because he'd owned his mistake. Over the next weeks, Ryan worked under Admiral Voss directly. What began as punishment became mentorship. She challenged him, corrected him, but also believed in him. And when a surprise crisis hit, a reactor malfunction that threatened to destroy half the base, it was Ryan who led the containment team. Following the calm, precise voice of the Admiral through every step. When it was over, the Admiral approached him on the deck, soot and sweat marking both their faces. "You did well today," she said simply. He smiled faintly. "I learned from the best." The fleet's flag waved behind them, catching the morning sun. The same wall where arrogance once stood now reflected respect, earned, not given, because respect isn't commanded. It's discovered, often in the hardest way possible. And sometimes, the person you underestimate becomes the one who teaches you who you really are. So what did you think about this story? Drop a comment below and let me know. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this one. After all, every rank has a lesson hidden behind it, waiting to be learned. Bold truth line, because respect isn't given by rank, it's earned through humility. Poetic closure. The wall that once divided them now stood silent, touched by the light of understanding instead of pride.